I'm going to show how I do increasing for, again, I don't know if this is the correct way to do it. It very well might be, but this is just how it works for me, and how I do it, so hopefully it'll work for getting you to figure out how to increase it. The increasing is much easier to me than the decreasing because I have less gaps and issues with it. But I normally decrease. I don't increase it very often for some reason. I always just start out with more and then go down with crochet, and I really don't know why, but that's just how it is. But when I do need to increase, this is how I do it. I did the first chained row and then I did one back. Again, I don't know if that's 2 rows or 1, but I actually counted the stitches I have on here today. I have 5. And yes, it's very small, but I'm going to be increasing it, so I figured I'd start with this small. But anyway, I did the chain row and the one back, so, and I'm doing the, again, I think it's called a single crochet. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure. But to start it, I do 1 chain to turn it around. With this yarn. I don't do it all the time, but this yarn seems to be working better with chaining it to turn it, so if it looks weird, just don't do that. It's not always needed. But anyway, do the 1 stitch, like a normal crochet, and then into the next one, do a normal crochet stitch, and then into the same stitch you just went into. So you can see I just added 1 to this stitch right here. I'm going to do it again, another crochet into the same stitch, and then I've increased 1. That's really it. Anyway, that's how you do the increase. I already have 1 more on the row than I did, just by going into the same stitch. But again, because I have 5, I'm going to do 1 normal crochet, just 1 crochet into the 1 stitch. That's no increase there. And then into the second to last one, I'm going to do a normal crochet, and then again a normal crochet in the same stitch. And that's it. I've increased that row by 2. Finished the row by doing another single into the end. But that's it. I've increased so now I have 7 on here. So that the crocheting increases, it's easier than doing it decreasing because it doesn't look as weird as when you decrease. But I use the decreases more often just because I tend to start with a bigger project and need it ending smaller. But yeah, I'm gonna go back just back to the other side. I'll be right back. I'm not increasing on this row, I'm just doing a normal crocheting in all the stitches. So I'm going to be right back with that. I made it back, but you can see how now the second row that I just did is bigger, because I added 2 stitches to it. But you really can't tell where I did it, with the increases versus the decreases. Again, I just don't do it as often. But now I'm going to do it again on this row. So I just did a normal one without increasing on that side. So I have 7 total now because I started with 5. But I'm doing the chain and then crochet into the first stitch, like normal. And then I'm going to do 2 into this one same stitch. Just do 2 stitches into 1. So see how it's now pulling? Like this is the new stitch that I just did. This is the one that I went into, so I'm going to go into that one again. Just like that, and then it's increased again. So I'm going to get to the second to last again, and then I'll increase 1 more time on this row. Okay, now I have 2 more left on this row, so I'm going to do 2 stitches into this 1 stitch. So just normal, and then again into the same one, normal, and you've increased. That's it for the increase. It's very easy. Again, crochet is a lot more forgiving than knitting. Knitting, you have to be more aware Because with crochet, if you mess up, you can just pull it off the hook. So yeah, with knitting, it's a bit more. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but hopefully you're understanding what I mean. But with knitting, you have to be more, you know, whatever word I'm looking for there. But with crochet, you can just kind of do whatever you want, and it'll most likely turn out. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's okay. Just take it apart. But yeah, that's another one with 2 more, so now I have 9 on here. But I'm going to do a few more and see how it turns out. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to turn out. It seems like it's kind of going like in a half circle, which is kind of cool, but I'm going to do a few more where I just crochet normal, no increases on one side, and then increase by 2 on the next. So yeah, I'll be back when I do a few more. Alright, if I counted that last row correctly, then I should have 21, but this is how it turned out. It went into a triangle, which I'm glad about, because it straightened out. But the other way was kind of cool too, so I wouldn't have been upset if it was, you know, this shape, like the rainbowy shape. But this is how it turned out, and again, I'm pretty sure I counted 21, I'm just not 100% sure. But increasing, it looks a lot better than the decreasing to me, because I probably don't decrease correctly. But this is how it looks. You can't really tell, again, because I went in over here-ish somewhere, but you can't tell where you increase versus decreasing because it just works better. It's easier. It just works better, but I just start out with a bigger, so I have to do more decreasing. I probably should start out with a smaller and move up because this looks a lot better, but that's just not how I do things. But hopefully that this thing was a little bit helpful. It's easy once you figure out how to do it because you just crochet the same stitch twice. Like you go into the same whichever stitch you're going into wherever you need to twice, and then that's all it is to increase. So hopefully that was helpful for you and you were able to get it increased now. It really is easy once you figure it out. Again, at least this way. I don't know if this is the right way, but this is how I do it. But if it is the right way, then yay. But it works, so I guess it's the right way just because it works. Anyway, I hope that it was helpful for you and you can continue on what you're making. And yeah, you're just unstuck from making it now. But yeah, hope it was helpful. This is again, I think it was 21 stitches, if I counted correctly. But I hope it was helpful, and I'm gonna, you know what I do at the end. I'm not keeping it, so taking it apart. Anyway, and I enjoy taking things apart way too much. But I hope it was helpful, and you can carry on with what you were making now. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!